Yeah, yeah. All right, we're ready now. Rock and roll. Right, so we're recording, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so so we've covered all the different body parts, um, and we've gone through the strokes and the different techniques. So all the underpinning stuff has been covered. We just need to work on it to get you guys ready, so that you guys are ready to do the exam and the assessments. Um, the only major area we've done a little bit of muscles and on the skeletal system, but the other organ area that we haven't covered is the skin. Okay, so we're gonna cover the skin. I've just stopped here where you got the human cell and there's the mitochondria, and the mitochondria is responsible for making ATP. So in the exam, you might get questions on the mitochondria, asking you what is the mitochondria and its role. So the mitochondria is important for making ATP. So you need it for energy. All right. So we've got the skin. Skin basically is it's an epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissues are connective tissues that create linings along the stomach, the skin, inside of organs, and they cover the surface area. Um, so we've got connective tissue. Sorry, have I missed that one? No. Yeah, so connective tissue, fibrous, adipose tissue, fat cells, cartilage, and bone. And so if we go straight to the skin, so the skin, there's three layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous of the cell. The epidermis has got keratin. Keratin protects the cell from damage, and keratin has got proteins in it that keep on dividing and growing and subdividing. That's why if somebody dies, you've got sometimes, if you look at a skeleton, you will see that the hair and the nails will keep growing because the keratin protein will still be dividing and subdividing. In the dermis section, you've got the muscle levator for the hair that will allow the hair follicle to contract and stand up. And you've got the secretion where the sebaceous glands are, which will secrete oils onto the skin, and also as well help to secrete sweat that allows for cooling and convection as well. So in the epidermis, which is the top layer, you've got the layers. You've got the horny, clear, granular, prickle cell, and basal. Okay, the horny part at the top is always shedding, so you get a lot of dead skin that sheds on a regular basis. And the skin layer is in that order. Okay. Melanocytes. So melanin, one of the big um, one of the big myths about melanin is that only black people have melanin in their skin. Everybody's got melanin, but it's at different concentration levels. Okay. With UV light and being exposed to the sun, the more you're exposed to the sun, depending on how somebody's skin reacts to melanin, it will then determine what concentration of melanin they've got in their skin. So if somebody's exposed to UV light and the sun and their skin goes very red and sore, they don't have high concentration of melanin. But you tend to find that if somebody gets darker and tans and holds sunlight, so for example, people of a Mediterranean background, they've got high concentrations of melanin in their skin. Wouldn't be as much as somebody of an African or Caribbean background, but the concentration is there. So within the context of sports massage, you have to be aware that when you're massaging somebody that's got reddish skin that's been exposed to UV light, it could be quite sore and sensitive to touch. Yeah. This next layer down from the epidermis is the dermis, which is slightly thicker. You've got the hair follicles, you've got the erectile pili muscle, sweat glands, and sebaceous glands and fat cells. So the fat cells hold a lot of the fat. The sebaceous glands and the sweat glands, they secrete fluids onto the layer of the skin to help you to cool down as well. They have to secrete sweat. And the sebaceous glands secreting oils. Those natural oils keep your skin lubricated and stop the skin from getting dry and breaking up. So those things are very, very important. So the function of the skin pressed is for protection, regulation of temperature, excretion, sensation, and secretion. Yeah. Also helping for the formation of vitamin D by helping to trap sunlight as well. With the skin, people that have got psoriasis and people that have got keloids on skin conditions, I've put in 2 documents about keloids and all sorts of other skin conditions. With a keloid skin is mainly something that affects people that are people that have got higher melanin concentrations. And the keloid is like a lump, like an overgrowth that grows on the skin, usually from a cut or from skin damage or from an accident. So you have to be aware again when massaging to massage around a keloid area. Sometimes if a keloid area is fresh and massage over it, it can be painful and it can also be difficult for the client. So be aware of that. With skin conditions, again, hydration level, the best nutrient for the skin is water. So to drink water helps to keep skin as healthy as possible. Genetics, if you've got good genetics, you've got good skin. And also as well, drinking alcohol and being exposed to nicotine also damages the skin as well. Yeah. Hydration levels are very, very, very important. And the aging process, it affects the elasticity and the integrity, the strength of the skin. Things that affect poor skin conditions. So the collagen and the elastin in the skin, as you get older, or if you have poor skin health, or if you don't look after your skin, the collagen and the elasticity of the skin starts to break down, helps to develop wrinkles, and then skin isn't as strong and isn't as durable. Also, as well, it affects your nail and your hair growth. Having your sweat glands get impaired as well, secreting sweat and secreting oils onto the skin is also affected if your skin wrinkles a lot. And when you're massaging and looking for your trigger points, your threshold, people's skin that wrinkle, it's not as easy to massage as well. I put in there is also an article about varicose veins as well in the skin, and varicose veins potentially breaking up, causing damage to the skin as well. Okay. Your resistance to infection is also impaired as well. And the reduced cell reproduction also is affected by having thinner skin that's not as robust. Yeah. So there we got skin tensions and reduced elasticity, and the skin might not feel so smooth, and you might not be able to slide over as easily, especially when you're massaging. You got tenderness of the skin, you got temperature differences, and intermittent dragging and juddering of the skin, especially when you're looking for trigger points. If somebody's got a lot of wrinkles, it's difficult to trigger point the skin. So there you got presentations, activity. You don't have to do this, but if we was in class, you can pair up and you can do these activities and revise some of the stuff on the skin as well. And just a learning check just to make sure that you remember all the different aspects of the skin. It's not a very, very large component, but skin is quite important to understand the basics of the skin. And for the purpose of the exam, you will get asked a few questions about the skin. So it's important just to remember and revise the basics and some of the stuff in these slides. Okay. All right. Do we have any questions?
No.
No. No. Okay. Again, yeah, very basic.
They're not gonna ask.
Not much in any detail. Go on.
They're not gonna really ask in-depth questions about skin, right? They're just gonna ask
No.
basics.
No. Basics. Yeah.
Identify the layers and the layers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Identifying the layers and identifying the epidermis, dermis, and the subcutaneous part, and what's in the three sections. The epidermis is the top layer, the dermis is the middle layer, and the subcutaneous part is underneath. But it's just before you get to like the main organs. Yeah.
Can you show the slide of the bit of the one that's called presentations of the skin? Because that had some interesting.
This one.
Yeah, that was it. Just the skin. I just wanted to write down the little things that you could look
can write
out
it down.
for.
I've got the guy that one of the students has managed to. He's doing it on his laptop, so he's recording it.
Okay,
So this session is going to be recorded. So we're going to circulate all the recordings as well.
Sweet. Thank you. Temperature. Cool. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So are there any other questions about the skin?
No, not for me.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, some of the other stuff, if we do like a slide on muscles or we do a slide on certain injuries, the presentation will be a bit longer. But this one with the skin, it is quite short.
Cool. Sweet. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
Sweet. I'm gonna leave and I'll speak to you all soon. Or see you in a bit.
Okay.
Ciao.
All right.
Good night. Buonanotte.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Take care, guys.
All right.
If there's nothing else, right?
No.
All right then. I'll see you guys on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.